like real. Those look like real beetles.
Here is a check I searched everywhere for, because I knew I had a deposit to make. Here it is in the back of my checkbook. I just found it.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh, what in the world did I do with that? Okay.
Put it up front where you'll see it.
That's what I'm doing right now, because I knew I had one. Okay, so then I get to add another $15.
You don't get back years of work.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yeah, we are, it's a pretty day out there.
Oh.
Well, I think there's an advertisement for bad business.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
It's wonderful.
I know it.
Yesterday, it wasn't, at least where I was, it wasn't as bad as they said. So I don't know, but I get that people decided not to come because of that.
Yeah, you Harmon.
Well, you know,
Made in my youth.
Drop the
you've been making them a long time.
You ready? No, just
I don't have the patience for that. Or the dexterity.
now that we've all went to everybody.
She's not a skater, roller skater. She's very good at what she does. I taught her martial arts and how to use weapons, so she's a boat.
Ken and Don were sick the last couple of weeks.
I was making a Shiva for her, which is the Indian god of war or something else. And he's got 4 arms, 2 legs, and whatnot, and he's standing. And I found this product. It looks like it's bendable.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. I want to welcome everybody that's here to our meeting. And I don't think there's any new members or guests present. And we have a secretary's report is online. If there's any changes needed, please let Joanne know and she'll make the corrections. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
I move to accept the minutes as written. Second.
Okay. And I'm just gonna make a note about the dues. $15 a family. Please put it in an envelope with your name, telephone number, email address, and home address on the front for Laverne. Okay,
You gotta
Laverne.
send it to Laverne, and she'll put it in the back and couldn't find it.
All right, the treasurer's report.
Okay. When I add this check this week, it'll be $4,320.56.
Can I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Second. We're just gonna skip the first. Go ahead. When it comes time, I'll second it. I'll report, whatever. Whatever.
All right.
We're all together today.
Woo! It's getting deep. Do you think it's the age doing this to us?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Is there any more comments needed to be done about any old business we have? No? Okay, and now, new business. I do have one item of new business I'd like to talk about. David has been talking to, what is it, the Woodcraft in Plano, right? And they would be agreeable to do a demo with us. So, as of my schedule right now, I don't have the time to do this. So could I have a volunteer to handle this for us?
Okay, tell me what you're talking about.
The Woodcraft
Yeah.
in Plano.
They want to do a demo here?
No, they want us to go there and
I
do
got
a
you.
Woodcraft demo
I
like we
see.
used to do. Remember sitting out on the front porch?
Yeah,
Doing
okay.
all this doing. Well, they're agreeable to do it with us, but they have a room, et cetera, et cetera. I just don't have the time to handle it right now. So could I have a volunteer that would handle?
I will handle it, I'm just not, I wanted somebody who had been to one and knows what we need and want. And I haven't been to one of these before.
Okay, first of all, next month,
Oh, I was gonna get to that.
Okay, but that has to go before this because this will take up that day.
Well, I was just gonna get some
Okay,
volunteer that would handle all that. If I could get someone that would get in touch with the Woodcraft at Plano and set up anything. And then,
I've talked to him, Paul, several times.
and you would just
And I
get a
was-
date and let us know and et cetera. It's just him.
Well, he's already sent that he has some times that he's looked at.
Oh, he does, all right. Well, see that, I haven't had time to read this,
Well,
so.
even that note you got on your desk is the same
Okay.
one. So
Do
they
you
have,
wanna handle it, David?
I will try, but I want to know what we need and what we expect. Do we have anybody who will go to a demo there?
Okay, so let me bring up one other further thing. We cannot meet here on the last Saturday of May because they're having a big shindig and need this space. So I would like to schedule it for the preceding Saturday, whatever date that
It's
is.
done, it's a done deal. We're set up for the 20th.
The 20th.
Okay.
So the 20th is not available for us.
Here. Okay, let's start over. Okay. The rec center called me, and they're having that yearly, whatever it is, on the 27th of the month. So that's our usual time. They're canceling our time here on the 27th. They've rescheduled us for the week before, the Saturday before on the 20th, which will be here.
Yeah.
And I'll send out information on that.
That's the regular club meeting.
Okay.
That's what that is.
So in between, David has talked to, and it's
Craft
Woodcraft.
in Plano.
Okay, in Plano. And they are willing for us to do a demo on the 27th, which would be our normal day here, on the 27th. But we have to agree, we just have to say yes, that we want that time, we want the classroom. What I would like, what we need is, and you might write this down, do we need to bring our own saws?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to handle.
My answer is, they do have some saws there, but they don't do demos on them. So those are new saws for sale, so I suspect we'd have to bring our own saws.
Okay, and times, is it a 2-hour period? Because I won't drive 2 or 3 hours to get there.
As
for
I
2 hours.
understand you talking to Paul, they're talking about we could have it all day.
Okay, well, find those things
See,
out and
that's
let
what
me
I'd like
know.
him to handle.
Because if it's all day, it's great. If it's 2 hours, it's not worth my time coming in.
Yep. I'm
All
glad
day.
he's
Is it Rockler and Plano?
No,
Woodcraft.
Woodcraft in Plano.
Is there something in the way of how they want you to build something, cut something? Do they have anything in mind?
No, the demo is whatever we've done to other stores before.
And what we do is take our brochures to hand out, we take our brag table stuff, everybody bring, and we'll have a couple of saws set up. And we can take to cut anything we want to. At least that's the way it's worked in the
We all
past.
practice.
And what
All
we do
levels.
is, also, we have little things that any kind of person that walks by and say, well, I'd like to try that. So you sit them down at your saw and let them cut.
Yeah, Harm has a big bucket of already pre-printed,
Yeah.
easy things for people to do. And so he gives it to them.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want, are you letting people off the street use the saw?
Yes.
Okay. I just need to make sure
I
that
think
I
that
ask
it
that,
is.
because that can be a
That's what
insurance question.
okay, yeah.
I didn't.
When's Mother's Day?
Well, I can't bring a saw anymore.
I was
but-
gonna say, there's no way we could take one out of mine and
14th,
sew
okay.
it. and all this.
Kenneth can load mine.
Okay, so
Well,
we,
I can bring one, I've never carried it out of the house like that.
And if Harmon,
Can do it.
Has got
I'll
his
bring mine,
things
I've
is-
got one, that's all it's used for, is a cake.
oh, okay.
So
Two-
what they have in the store is they have a room that they teach classes.
yeah,
And every week they put out a brochure that says the classes are having.
yeah.
I think they said the first and the fourth Saturdays are the times that they're free for us to use the room. And Paul said they would move the tables or whatever they got out of the way in those rooms if we wanted so.
Well, can we
it seemed
use
like
their
it-
saws?
What?
No.
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 We can't use theirs.
But we have
I
Joann's.
didn't ask that, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let you use a new saw.
Well, not a new one, no, but I
They
thought
don't, they don't,
They don't have anything but new ones.
They don't have a demo saw.
I see, okay.
But we have Joann's, we have yours,
We have 4.
and hopefully we'll have
You
Harmon.
have Harmon.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
That's as much as we need.
That's as much as you need in one room.
So I don't even know if we
Will
need.
people show up? I don't want to do this and have nobody show up.
Well, if it's an all-day deal, I'm good to go. If it's 2 hours, I'm not driving 2 or 3 hours from
Do
where
we
I
know if
live.
Woodcraft is gonna market the thing, putting flyers
Yes,
out?
yes,
They'll do that?
Yes.
So we might have people show up.
yes.
No, I'm talking.
And it's just people coming in the store, and I've had people years later get in touch with me, wanting me to do stuff because they picked up my card. That's the only place they could have seen me, is at one of these stores. And we have a good time doing
Yeah,
that.
It's
when we go
fun,
out.
it's fun. And we come in shifts, because if you can't be there all day,
Well,
like
we
I'll
can-
come for a couple of hours and.
We can teach each other.
It does help.
Well,
I'll come.
Grover would come, David would come.
I'll come because I would have
That's
been
what I was
at
going
the
to ask.
And
Who
you
all
want to do
can
this on the
come?
27th of next month?
Who all can
20th.
come? Who all can come?
27, yeah.
Can you come?
Yes.
The
Raise your hand.
20th or 27th now?
27.
27.
27th?
Y'all can't come?
Okay, it sounds
I
like.
might be able to come, but we might be going out of town that week, so.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
And I'll be
kinda
there.
Well, that's enough, that's
That's
enough.
plenty.
All day,
Let's try to do it all day.
cut anything you want, the people use their saws, use
Yeah.
our saws.
Yes.
And times that we can use the room, how long are they gonna let us stay in there?
Yeah.
By your email, it kinda sounds like all day, but
Yeah.
we need to verify that.
Would we be promoting their saws?
Yeah.
No,
No.
not particularly.
I heard a yeah, I heard a no, okay.
Well,
They could.
whatever people ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to promote a saw that I don't know.
Oh,
Well, if you
you're
don't
not,
They're all the
Say you
same,
don't
they just
know.
change the labels on them.
well, no, that's-
You just send them out to their salesman.
If you don't know-
You don't say that we have tried them or not tried them. You tell them that they have saws, other people do too.
And if it's a saw you don't know anything about, what do you say? I don't know anything about
I
it.
say coffee.
Coffee.
And I know about it.
Click, hello, hello.
The last one we did was at Rockler in Arlington.
In
And it was
Arlington.
107 degrees outside. We were out on the
Yeah.
sidewalk.
This is
On the
inside.
parking lot?
room in the back.
Well,
was awful.
And they're
My
closed.
Man, I
granddaughter
bet it
went.
was.
And nobody paid attention to the rest of us. They were just watching my 12-year-old granddaughter at the time.
That was.
Yeah,
That's sales.
yes, yes. They were just standing over her like, I can do this. And then they had the Girl Scouts there also, and they
Yeah.
were doing turning.
Yeah.
And they let Lauren turn a pin. And when we got home, she looked at her granddaddy and went, "Pops, Granny and I needed a lathe."
Did you get one?
No. She's getting ready to graduate from Oklahoma University. So,
Now. Yeah.
Okay.
So
let me-
anyway,
Tell me where this is again. so I
Let me
can-
It's at
reiterate.
Woodcraft, it's on Plano Road, right off of 75.
Can I reiterate just a little bit?
It's
what we
in almost the
discussed?
same shopping center as that mall, like
The one that closed
Plano
down.
Mall, that's closing down, yeah. I don't think they've closed all the way down, have
Well,
they?
they're gonna build some apartments there, I think.
It's in that same block or whatever.
South side of the mall.
So let me reiterate so that everybody understands what we really did discuss. So we planned, what's the date, May
27.
27 at the Woodcraft in Plano, all day. We need to bring saws, and you let us know how many saws do we need?
We're gonna have 3 and
2 or 3
Yeah,
at
that's
the
all we
most.
need.
Yeah, so you bring yours.
he's
I'm gonna
bringing his. He's bringing his.
That,
And
and
Grover said he'd
Grover
bring
brings, so we have 3 saws. And everybody bring things to cut, whether you bring a saw or not.
And David, you don't have to bring your saw if Harm's bringing his, because they're all set and ready to travel. And
Yeah,
if you've never
yeah.
traveled, George, you don't want to hassle with them.
No. And also bring anything else that you use to cut. Now, y'all,
That you used to cut or,
yeah,
That you need to cut on.
yeah, or other things that you use when you.
oh, to use,
Yeah.
USE, I thought you meant.
Bring it
used
prep.
to. Okay, never mind.
Never mind.
Okay, and then we show up in work clothes and be prepared to cut, right?
Plano Parkway
Okay.
is the exit off of 75.
Well, I'll send all that whenever,
okay.
but after he finds out if it's 2 hours or if it's all day. I mean,
Or we agreed to all this that I just said.
And just tell them we need extension cords, is all we need, power and extension
They've
cords.
got-
They have
they
a
got
lot of,
big
they should have a lot in there, but I'll ask
Yeah,
for
I've taught in that, in those
Because
classrooms.
they have-
They've got
it.
everything.
They make demonstrations in there, and
It's a-
everything from making cabinetry
Yeah.
to, you know,
It's a classroom.
setting up
Yeah, it's well
bandsaws to
equipped.
doing all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
because I know you said that they would move the tables out of the way, but what we really need is a few of the tables for the brag items.
Yeah.
well, we can handle all
They
that.
got
Yeah.
plenty of tables.
We set
Yeah,
that
they
up.
should have
when we
used
get there.
workbenches
It's a larger
and
room.
stuff, so, yeah.
We'll set it up when we get there. Okay? Any other comment on this?
And what time do we want to start?
That's
Yeah,
one of the
they
questions
have quite a variety of classes.
that you need to get for us.
Well, when they open, we could get there and set up. It takes at least an hour to
Not
set
at
up.
Woodcraft.
They open at 8, don't they, in the weekend?
Oh, we
No,
probably
I don't
won't
think
do that.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I won't at least.
Let's set a date of 9 o'clock.
It's in-
Isn't that a good day,
Northbridge.
time, I mean?
It's okay with me. I don't-
If they're open.
We'll set a time of 9 o'clock.
I'm sure, pretty sure they're
Tentatively set for 9 o'clock. If
Okay.
it changes, we'll let you know.
And we have a meeting between now and then too.
Yeah.
So we'll have
Yes.
weeks before, yeah.
To finalize everything.
This will be fun because we haven't done this in so long.
I know, it's fun, it's a lot of
I
fun.
love doing it.
I hope you can make it. It
Yeah,
is.
I'll come if we're still in town.
And I have to tell you this little story. This lady was going to Woodcraft with her husband. You know, Saturday, she's going to Woodcraft. And she walked by my scroll saw and she said, "What are you doing?" So I showed her and I sat her down. And she went in and bought one. She loved it. She said, "This is wonderful. I want this." I said, "Well, you know," and I was helping her, and I said, and she was cutting, and I said, "Honey, this is just a piece of wood. It's not your college education fund. It's just a piece of wood. If you learn it, I'll give you another one." She said, "Oh, okay." She had such good fun. She made her husband buy one before she got home. And that's my favorite story, folks. Whenever we would, and we did kids, 9, 10 years old. They loved it.
The best day here was the all-kids day.
Yeah. Oh, was that?
And we were here all day long.
Yes.
And the kids didn't find us. They were doing cheerleading stuff outside. The little girls were in cheerleading outfits and they were doing, well, finally, we were the last thing. And this little cheerleader comes in. She has a little long hair, little cheerleading outfit. And she was the only one in here. She sat down at my saw. She was about, what, 7 years old, something like that?
Young.
She was young. And she just started cutting and playing, and in a minute, finally her mother goes, "Okay, we gotta go." And the little girl stood up and she pointed at my saw. She said, "And I want one of these." And then the older kids found us and they were just lined up. And finally we got to unplugging everything to leave.
We had to go.
Yeah, we had to go, well, they were closing down, but it's like, then the next year, the people in Irving, when they said saws, that was the end of that. Harmon even came over and did a demo of what our saws were. And they went, no, they gave us a list of what rules we had to go by, and it was like a big white sheet with rules all the way down because it said saw.
And then we did a demo one time over there in Fort Worth at that education
At the
center.
museum,
Yeah,
By the museum. We did a demo over there.
several years, yeah.
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 Yeah, that's fun.
You were there. I remember you were there.
I went 1 year, no, 2 years, I went 2 years.
We had gobs of people,
Saw him with a dinosaur.
and that was gloriously fun. I
Okay.
enjoyed the heck out of it.
Let me see if I got this.
Okay.
We're gonna do May 27th. We wanna be there all day. If not, we're not gonna do it.
Well, y'all might, but I'm just not driving from
No,
Greenville.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm not driving from Hearst.
I drive in that area to here every day, every meeting. Is there anything specific they want us to cut? Was that a question?
No.
No.
Can people use the saws? Can we
Yeah.
let them? set
Well,
the saw and use
depending
it?
on whether the store might not let us.
That's a question you need to
That's
ask.
the question.
Yeah.
And how long can we use a room? Is it all
Yes.
day? And we
Yes.
want to start at 9 o'clock. Was there
Yes.
anything else to ask?
Just, I guess.
Let her know
make-
we want to set up at 9, because it's gonna take at least an hour to set it all up.
Okay.
Has
That way they
anyone ever
advertise.
cut themselves on a scroll saw?
Oh, I have. But not bad enough, I mean,
No, I
somebody says,
immediately
you're
went
gonna
out.
cut your finger off, I said, unless you're really done, you're gonna jerk that hand back.
It takes talent, man, let me tell you, I was like, ow!
I've cut the skin before, but I haven't.
I'd give somebody some lessons, and she was doing just fine, but I didn't think about telling her, don't put your thumb in front of the saw, but she was pushing there in the blade here to get it through.
Oh,
It just barely nicked
I
it.
know,
Because you
but
jerk your hand back,
Cut
yeah.
the skin. It cut the skin. I'm sure.
I thought everybody knew, don't put your hand in front of the blade, you know.
Well, you can
Okay,
fix
is that all your questions?
I guess it's just something else I should ask.
No, I think that's good.
Oh, will they advertise it for us?
Yeah,
They-
that's what
he
he said
said-
they would.
I talked to Paul, and Paul said he would send out a letter to their mailing list,
Good,
or at least a notice to their
Yeah.
mailing list.
and they even tell them, I think it would be cute, that would make them look is scroll saw curious. Now's your
Scroll saw
chance.
what?
Scroll saw curious.
Oh.
Now's your chance. Because a lot of people are curious if they're woodworkers, but they've never had a chance to play with
They
it.
had a couple of saws out the last time I was in there that were scroll saws, but I don't remember what the brands were.
King.
Was it?
Probably key.
The Walt was one of them probably, because that's what they carried over to the other one.
Yeah. They got another one too that I've never even,
King.
is it the King?
Yeah.
Maybe so.
That's the,
You know, the Woodcraft in Hearst, my second home.
Since this is not, people coming into their store, like if you're out on the street, they walk by you. We're gonna be in a back room. What would,
So
do we need
don't-
signs or something?
Yes, I
Yeah,
would
we
suggest,
can do some signs, we can.
we can do a sign by the front door.
Yeah.
We
And
can-
then
we've
a
got it in our
sign by the
budget.
back
We can
door.
print a few
Can you do
colorful-
that for
I will come up with some colorful signs and print them and then turn it
Two or
in.
three, do more than you think you need.
Okay. And then, as long, once it's confirmed, because I'll have a week, if you go ahead and confirm it at the next meeting, then I'll go, okay, here are the
Won't
dates,
take-
da-da-da-da.
It'll take you long to do that.
Yeah. And then, trying to think if there's anything else. That's it.
All right, and
Okay.
is this,
Oh, can we send out a blast? That would be, once it's confirmed, we can send out a blast to everybody.
Joanne will send something for all of her mailing list, which
Yeah.
is larger than her membership list.
Much larger.
Is anything else to discuss on this?
Okay, well, I'll try
Are we
to get in
good?
contact with them.
Any other new business to discuss?
That was the new business.
I said,
Oh.
other new business.
We're not doing well today.
I just wondered if anybody else had anything we needed there. Okay, do we have a demo scheduled for next, well, yeah, we're gonna be meeting, yeah. We need a demo.
I don't think I can do it the next meeting, but I can probably do something after, the next meeting after that.
So the June meeting,
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
well, similar to what I did before, but it'll be about power to the hand tools.
Okay,
if nobody wants to see it.
You've got plenty of tools.
Well, I'm not selling tools. You can buy what you want or not.
Hey, you turned us on to that little thin finger, looks like a sanding belt thing.
Yes.
That we were all like, ooh.
Those are very neat and I use it all the time.
So no one wants to, we will have a club meeting with no demo.
Okay, what
You know
about,
what?
No demo.
Okay.
anybody have an idea for May?
That's what I'm
Question?
after, May.
Anything?
That's what I'm after, May. Everybody speak at once. I mean, I can't hear it all.
Well, we can try the blades. It doesn't look like very many people brought blades.
We brought information. Okay,
All right, no demo from May.
Hey, could we do bring your junk stuff?
what?
Remember how we used to do it out in the parking lot? Anything you're not using, bring it.
Wood included.
Wood, as long as it's not a whole truck full of wood, but.
Oh, you can bring a truck full of wood out
That's
in the
true.
parking lot.
That's
I
true.
wouldn't care.
That's true, but you know, wood, paint, whatever that you're not using, that you're like, oh, let's bring it, just a swap.
Okay, we'll have a swap next.
We'll have a swap next
May.
because that's always fun, because people bring stuff that they don't want, and somebody else says, oh, I can take that, I can use that. So, I've got stuff to bring.
I've got some wood I'll bring.
Okay, so
One
9 o'clock, starting at 9 o'clock?
At the demo, yeah.
Is it not? We start.
I know, but
Our meeting. You're talking about meeting?
no,
Oh.
the swap.
Oh.
Out in the parking lot.
Yeah, okay, do it at 9 o'clock.
Are we doing it in the parking lot? I thought we were gonna do it.
Oh, no, we don't want to drag stuff in here. We'll
Okay.
just do it out the back of our cars.
Okay,
We'll start it at 9 o'clock.
okay.
And it's the early Saturday, remember, May
20th.
20th. Okay?
Okay.
All right, that's the demo information. We're good? Any other discussion on that? All right, brag items. No, or ask the expert, I forgot that. Ask the expert. Does anybody have anything on ask?
Yes,
the
I do.
expert? Okay.
Okay. And I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm glad I'm here too.
We are so glad you're here.
Susie apologizes, she's not here. She's not feeling well, so.
Well, tell her we hope you feel better.
Okay, I cut one of my trivets out with wood. And usually I do it with coriander or whatever, but the wood, but this has blue pine in it, so I wanted that to show up. And y'all were talking about dipping them in mineral oil or, and to get down in the things. Do I just pour this in a bag and then dip this in it and then let it drain?
You can do it that way. I have little Tupperware things that I just, in fact, I've got one for my cutting boards about that big that I just keep a lid over it and, you know, it's constantly full of
Well,
mineral oil.
this I'd probably just use every once in a while when I do a,
Well, if you're gonna use it as a trivet, like if you put it like on a table or something, you probably wanna use something more like tongue oil, because it'll be better for the heated pots.
that's what I'm asking,
Yeah,
okay.
I would use tongue oil, but if you're gonna use it on like a table that's just without
Just flat?
yeah, if you're gonna use it on a table with a tablecloth, like a fancy dinner or something, you're gonna use it on that. I probably wouldn't use that wooden thing on the table because some of the oil might get onto your nice tablecloth. If I'm gonna use a trivet on a tablecloth, I always use trivets that have a little foot on it, you know, like either
Okay.
a rubber foot or a felt pad, so it's up off the tablecloth so you don't mar your tablecloth. But I would use tongue oil for a trivet.
And just dip it, I mean, just
Yeah.
pour it in a bag and
Yeah,
dip
just,
it,
you
or
can
pour it in a...
pour it in a Ziploc bag.
Because it's not like anything I'm gonna use all the time. I
Right.
just wanted this blue pine to show
Uh-huh,
up
yeah,
better.
But you
yeah.
said
I
tongue
made some,
oil,
I didn't
right?
put anything
Yeah, I would
on
use,
them.
what's that?
I made some, I didn't put anything on them.
I know,
Yeah,
but I want
yeah.
this blue pine to show up,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
She says tongue oil, yeah, but it'll
Yeah.
really pop when she
Yeah,
puts the
it'll
oil.
pop with tongue oil,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm like him. Most of my trivets that I use, I don't put anything on them, just because it,
Then
you
maybe
know.
I just won't put anything on it.
But if you want to use
Should
oil,
have bits, Otherwise, if there was spills on it, it's liable to stain it.
yeah,
Well, if you seal the wood.
If you
less-
sealed it, no,
It's
then-
less likely to expand and contract and
Right.
bring moisture in it.
Right.
Change
Yeah.
over time.
right. But the problem with trivets is if you're going to put anything hot on it, if you with a lot of film finishes, it'll get on the bottom of your pot if you put on a
Yeah,
hot pot.
That's true too.
You know,
So just leave it plain?
I would, that's what I do. I leave them plain. I only put oil on ones that people ask me to do it, and then I always put the little feet on it.
Okay.
Because you don't want to ruin, especially if you use it on for like a holiday and you're using a special tablecloth, you don't want to mar grandma's tablecloth. So you always put feet on
I
it.
am the grandma.
No way. But yeah, I always put feet on ones that I do oil with.
Do you have it, little felt pads?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little felt pads for
Okay.
Michael's. It's, just enough to keep it off the tablecloth.
Okay,
You know, Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, I just didn't know about,
But after tongue oil set, it will still be oily?
Well, it won't be terribly
You put
oily,
too much
but
work in that to put a pan on there and cover it up.
look, I'm gonna sell it, so I
Yeah.
don't care what the people do.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well,
I was gonna say
the
that.
ones that I sell, I always sell them unfinished, and I tell them if they want something that, people sometimes ask me for specific ones, and I'll ask them if they want it oiled or not. If they do want it oiled, regardless of what oil I put little feet on it, you know.
Okay.
But if I do it unfinished, I tell them that, you can put oil on it yourself, but you need to put something on it. But I very seldom ever put on my own. I very
Okay.
seldom ever do oil. But yeah, you can, if you put a really hot pan on tongue oil or any film finish type thing, it can get onto your pan, and you don't really want that on the bottom of your pan.
Okay, thank you.
okay, anything else for Ask the Expert? So then let's go to brag items. What you was saying.
She did.
Okay, we've got a brag item to talk about.
No, these two things I did about 10 years ago when I was actually scrolling. This is a little bandsaw box with a little,
Good grief.
with
I
a
know
little,
Put your snuff in there?
yeah. That's about all it would
You
fit
can put two
there.
little pills in there.
But a friend of mine, I make regular bandsaw boxes.
Uh-oh, something broke down by your left foot.
Oh, no, that's a piece of dirt,
Oh,
yeah.
You cut dirt too?
Yeah. But my regular bandsaw boxes, a friend said, well, can you do it smaller? And he gave me a smaller piece. And then he kept giving me smaller and smaller. And then they finally got down to this. And he said, there is no way you can make a box out of that. And I said, So I did it on the scroll saw with a pencil guiding it, because especially for the handle, I didn't want to get too close to the thing. But anyway, so that's out of mahogany. Yeah, it's gotten loose over the years, so,
shrinking.
Yeah. So, but that was a challenge project, so. And then I did this wolf full size, and then I just challenged myself to see how small I could get it. And it was-
You're like Joanne. She takes those big patterns and makes earrings out of them.
Yeah, you just kind of screw them out. But now I've been out of it so long, so I've had to learn to redo things. Faye taught me how to do this one last month, I think. It was last month or something. So just getting started on it again. And then I did this one at home, just to kind of do some inside cuts. So, yeah. But I'm learning again.
Okay, so what's this? Right there by your left hand?
This,
Yes.
it's a beetle of some sort. Maybe
Oh,
even
okay.
a ladybug, maybe, I don't know.
A ladybug,
Yeah,
man.
That's a ladybug.
is that a ladybug?
Yeah.
I don't know. My brother's the entomologist, not me, so he can tell you what it is, but yeah. And I have no idea where I found those patterns. So, yep.
Okay, next, somebody.
No, go ahead.
This is another Judy Gale Roberts pattern. I had a neighbor that gave me some wood. He'd been a missionary in Africa for almost 40 years. And he had some leftover African mahogany. He brought several boards back he was gonna do something with, but he never did, and so he gave it to me, so I used his wood, you know, to show him.
Turn
that I
around
was-
so the camera can,
Sure.
the other way, the camera.
Oh, okay. Just to show him that,
That's beautiful.
I appreciate it.
I like the way you kept all the green with in the wood with the flow of the,
Because it looks like clouds, it looks like motion. You can't help but look at that.
I got this
See
piece of
motion.
wood at the Lowe's, I think. I was just looking for a piece of wood that would fit. And
no, I'm talking about
The
the,
backer,
the
The eagle
bird
itself.
itself, the way the feathers, you've kept the grain going with the feathers and
yeah, I just
yeah, it is.
followed the instructions.
it adds, yeah, it adds to it, I mean.
And used yellow heart for the beak and the feet. I used a plug cutter for the eye. You know, for the yellow heart, you know,
What did you say, plug cutter?
Plug cutter.
Yeah.
Plug cutter.
Yeah,
Oh, one of those small
yeah. it's just-
grills?
Yeah,
Hollow grill. Yeah, okay.
yeah, you know, just,
A hollow drill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cuts plugs
You
out.
cut plugs,
Yeah.
so if you're doing something, you cut the plugs and then you can just put them back in and it matches the wood.
Matches the wood.
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Cover up screws or something.
I think I
So,
Cover screw holes.
I don't know if I got one that small though.
yeah, I bought a bunch at, I guess I bought a set at Harbor Freight or someplace, different sizes.
Do you buy a lot of stuff at Harbor Freight?
Not a lot, no.
Do you find that their stuff is good?
Yeah, so far, I bought not a Dremel, but a similar tool there, and I used that on this. Worked
Well,
good.
I've had varying experiences. Sometimes the stuff is pretty good and lasts, other stuff kind of falls apart.
If you buy the warranties, it's good forever. I don't buy the warranty, but I've seen people go in there and come back with look like they dropped it or something.
Oh.
They just give them a new one.
Yeah, well, their
Really?
prices are
Yeah, they do.
less than most, a lot less than
I
one.
don't have one.
They used to be that way at Sears.
I
And
know.
I'm taking stuff back, screwdrivers a lot of times.
Ratchet and brake.
How could you
Yeah.
mess up a
Use
screwdriver?
it for a pry bar and break it and they give you a new
What?
one.
How could you mess up a screwdriver?
Oh, you can break it.
Well, like a Phillips screwdriver can mess up.
Oh, on the end, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even a flathead.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you do. Snap it off.
And if you're prying with it, you can break it. If you use the big one, you can get the prying, it'll snap.
Some of the
It
wood-
usually doesn't break if you use it like you're supposed to.
Some of the wood my neighbor gave me, to keep it from drying out, he put motor oil on it.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd do
I
that.
ran one piece across the edge here and it looked fine.
Oh, my goodness.
Then when you cut it, it'll burn it, huh?
Definitely don't use that on your trivets. Yeah.
Well, I think that
Yeah.
we've seen everybody's stuff.
Put it on your
No,
blade.
well,
No, we haven't seen the A&M stuff here.
Oh,
And this pattern.
Well, that's just for the blade thing is all that's for.
Okay, y'all have seen my stuff before, but what I did, I brought last month, was ornaments that I'd reduced down. This is the regular size of the pattern, and I reduced it down.
Well, this is miniature day, huh?
This is miniature. Okay, and Grover suggested, instead of me putting wood on the back of these and sparkling, painting them and sparkling them, to use just paper to put in the back.
It looks nice.
And, but I don't like
They call it.
the white on the back.
Well, why don't you just take another piece of green paper and put it on the back?
Well, I could, I just,
Spray on both sides, is what you're saying?
Joanne, just
I
paint
told
it,
you you could spray it too.
Yeah.
paint it with watercolor.
Put a little coat of
Yeah.
color, whatever colors you want.
Just watercolors or.
Was that pattern in one of the magazines? It seemed like I've seen some.
it was in one of those,
Fox publishing books.
yeah, those pattern books that we get,
Oh,
like,
okay.
Bearwoods or whatever.
It was all
And it
trims.
had
Book trims.
it had this one, And this one,
What kind of blade do you use for that, cutting through corian?
a Polar 5.
Polar?
And it cuts just beautifully. And then there was, let me say, butterfly was the third one. What I was doing when I bought these patterns, and I've had them probably a year and a half, 2 years probably, maybe 3, and never cut them, is I had a group of women that are members of an antique button club.
Buttons?
And it was their year to do, to have everybody come over to their club. And so they wanted me to make buttons, and of course I pictured buttons. And so in the end, they had me do a dolphin, a turtle, I can't remember. And they weren't buttons, but they had holes in them for buttons. And I ended up, about $350 worth of stuff, because they each said, well, I want a set of those. Well, I want a set of those. Well, we're gonna give those away, but I want a set of those. And I see one of the ladies every year at a craft show, she says, I had so much fun with those, I played with those all the time. And I thought they didn't get to have their meeting because of COVID. They had the meeting and everything shut down the next day.
Oh, jeez.
And she said, but anyway, that's where I got these. I had gotten other patterns. But I got these, and so I finally said, okay, I'm gonna cut those. I have never cut them. Now, I was needing a birthday card the other day, so I used my pattern and cut the birthday card
Yeah.
from wood. So I have about 5 or 6 of these.
So there's wood in there?
You put wood, no, this is the back side of this. You put the paper in between wood.
Oh, I see.
And what I do is, normally I'll have a saying on here, but I did on the one I gave away as a birthday gift. And then I put it on wood and mark off where my middle is and where my pattern will go. Because you gotta have wood to be able to cut these. And they cut just beautifully.
Did you have a bunch of those or just one?
I had about 5 or 6 of them.
So you one time?
Yeah.
And you put 5 or 6 and then 2 woods on the outside?
Yeah, chipping wood, yeah. And that's just fine.
Why not good wood? That's like this other stuff.
Because I didn't have any good wood. All the good wood I had, because I'd run out of MDF, all the good wood was too thick. So, okay, then this, the Star of David, is, what did I tell y'all? Timber lace pattern. And so, here's the regular size pattern, and then here's the ornament pattern. And that's it.
Next.
Nick, go Nick.
Go ahead.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
Where did you get the pattern?
I don't know. Out of my pattern pile.
Found in the pattern file.
Yeah. I think I might have got this one off Pinterest. I don't know. I'm not real sure. But this is some of Paul's wood. He brought some wood over one time, wanted me to resaw it for him. So he gave me some. But I had cut some 3/4, so I said that was too thick. I just wanted to do a 1/4 inch for, so I resawed it down a bit. And then making ornaments, little stand-up deals for the sale.
It's no man.
Carving, yeah. See if I can get these on the fingers right.
You don't get tired, you gotta stand up and hold those all Christmas.
I've got a little thing I can hang them on when the show comes.
I think they go to them twice a week. Those are so cute. You have those old women at the senior citizen buying those all the time?
You know, a lot of times I make stuff and I take it in there, I sell it right there before I ever get to the show. I usually make a couple of them anyway. I've sold 2 of them already there.
How much you charge?
$20.
Next.
20 bucks?
Next. Okay.
Thank you. Well, after last week's demo, I was wanting to bring this, but I made this about 35 years ago, 2 of these for my wife and for their lap pillow. And she used it every day for about 35 years, so.
Wow.
Anyway, it's walnut and maple. The maple's a little dark now after so long, but.
You turn this way.
Can you put on camera?
No, I don't.
I just wondered. It looks like it has a finish.
I need you to turn around.
Kirk says.
Do you want the back side of you or the front side?
Oh, well, TAM.
Kirk's right there going.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think, is Jesus right there?
Backwards.
Backwards? Okay.
There you go.
The wood for the month at Rockler was Osage orange. And it's hard as can be.
Bodark.
Bodark.
Oh, Bodark, okay.
And they had a lot of beautiful pictures of pieces. And I couldn't resist getting some because I've never seen it that big before and whatever, so I bought a few pieces of it. And I was just trying it out. I hadn't finished it yet, but this is Bobby Riggs' pattern here that I cut out with Osage orange and Bodark. And this one here, of course, everybody's got this Jesus pattern, but this is one that I got from Steve Good, and I put the base on it myself. And anyway,
You said that other one was Bodark?
this is. No, this is not, but this
Yes,
is.
that's what
But these 2 are.
Well, so would you find that really hard to cut?
I didn't really have that much. This is a 1/2 inch and this is a 1/4 inch. And I've never cut anything more than a 1/2 inch, and I didn't have any trouble with it. Somebody in here was talking about 2 or 3 times ago. They was talking about
Bamboo.
wood burning and whatever. This burns bad.
Oh, wow.
It really does. Especially if I sand that off after I'm through, and the bottom too, because you get it so smooth. And those ends, well, on a sander, it's hard to get them without the burn on it. And it really, I've never cut anything thicker than the 1/2 inch, but I didn't have any trouble with it.
I just thought Bodark was one of the harder woods.
Oh, it is very, very hard, and they kept telling me, well, it Rockler, where I got it, and they kept telling me how hard it was, and I knew that it was hard, but I'd never cut anything out of that before.
Well, I got some white oak that I tried to carve and cut, and that stuff was hard.
Yeah,
You couldn't hardly dent it.
yeah.
You know, the hardest wood I ever cut was bamboo.
Bamboo.
I listened to her curse the whole time.
Yes. If I was making one of those name things, the squares where you turn it, and between each letter, you have to change the blade.
Huh.
And you cut it slow because, it would break the blade.
Yeah.
And I will never cut it again.
So what kind of blade did you use?
I use, I brought this here, is Pegasus, and modified blades.
Keep
And,
that up for the demo. You're gonna need it for the demo.
Okay, and this is the only one that I use anymore. And really, of course, the demo, but you can I can cut a straight line better with these blades than any blade I've ever
Now,
used.
where do you get those from?
I got this at Bear Wood, but there's other places. I've only ordered from Bear Wood.
You get them on Amazon too.
Do they?
I've got them.
The same ones? The same brand that
Yeah,
he
take a look. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
From Amazon? Is that where you ordered?
Amazon.
What size is it?
I got them from Bearwood.
Well,
I mean,
this is a 9, but I usually use a 5 or a 7.
So let's wait until blades.
Okay.
Okay, so
And what's the name of the blade again?
It's Pegasus,
Pegasus?
Vegas.
and it's the modified.
modified.
yeah.
Just before I start.
It seems like they stay sharp for a long time.
There's a place out in California it's always cheaper.
How'd you get the letters on that?
Actually, Bear Wood uses
Ron told me.
Steve Good. And Steve Good says it's my favorite one and all of this, that is on their advertisement, so.
He has a question about your,
How'd you get the letters on that?
Oh, well, it's a lot of tape. A lot of tape and then painted inside. No, I didn't, no secret or
Oh, that's
whatever.
not inset?
No.
See.
No, it's a lot of taping and then pulling the tape off
I
and all
can't
of that.
believe it's still there after she cut on top of it.
Oh, no, it's just paint now,
I'm really surprised.
I am too.
after 35 years. But the glue has really helped these together, and I just used yellow type glue. And both of them are this good that we have.
Goes to show stuff was better years ago than it is today.
It may be.
Okay, next.
Oh, thank you. Well, I just brought up this, y'all seen this before, it's not me. I brought it for the blades is all I brought it for. This was just an experiment.
experiment.
What is there, 1,000 cuts in there?
Oh, no, it's one cut. Just like wood.
One long
Yeah.
Long cut. You just have to do it in little bitty sections. You saw out a little section and you had to glue the back of it to glue it together. And then move on to the next section. Just keep working around until you get it all cut out.
You cut this out of two different types of wood? How did you get the red?
No, one wood.
How did you get the red?
That's wood color, dyed red. I just spread that all over.
So
I
when you,
glued the back of it.
when you glued it together, you still had a little
Yeah, it
area.
left a little groove in the front and smeared wood filler all over the top front of it, stained it red. And sanded that all off.
That looks like you didn't have anything to do for a while.
Well, you might work on it for 15 minutes and put it up if the glue dried, and the next day you work a little more of it,
Wow.
put it up.
Took them a whole hour and a half to do it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole hour and a half.
But something weird I noticed when I was using that spiral blade, after a while I realized I was sawing it backwards. Instead of feeding it in the saw this way, I was pulling the darn thing toward me and turning, coming up, down. I don't know why that, but
Well,
Did
it
that work
worked.
well?
Huh?
Did that work?
It worked great.
Really?
Spiral blade, don't make it difference, you cut it any way you want
I don't know
to.
why I was doing
Oh,
that.
he
Well,
stayed
they're
inside
usually
and
thicker
then once it
than
was
fire
working,
blades.
he
That's
stayed
Can't
off.
get that small.
They
Okay.
go back to the color of wood. And what was letters, the stain.
Can I ask what size spiral blade you would do that?
03. Linda didn't like them. I brought him a dozen. And the next month he said, no, I don't like those.
03 spiral. I gotta get me one of those. I have never cut with one. I I don't like fireplace.
I do, I like playing with them.
I've got a couple.
Anybody else?
I've
I
got
guess
a
I'm
couple
ready.
too, I bought them different times, and thinking I would learn, but
Well, I've done something in fireplace.
I can't cut
Yes, sir.
straight, I can't cut straight with it.
I know it because it goes all over the place.
I know he did.
Makes too big to cut.
There's a lot of straight lines in there.
This is
Better
my
than
Christmas decorations in Tarsha, Judy Gale Roberts. And I can't tell you what the woods are because there's about 20 different woods in here. So this is her whole entire, this is the one set of patterns. This one was fun. I really enjoyed this one. And I always, Paul and I have a disagreement about how to do this, but this is the way I like to do the back of mine.
So you cut.
So he goes in and puts black around the edges, and I like that. It doesn't, this to me, you can hardly see the edge when you get it like this. You don't need that black paint. I think it looks more natural. Okay. Any other brag items?
We're impressed. Your and Tarsha's getting really, really, really
That is
good.
Oh, well, thank you.
It is. It is.
I'll tell you this, and you know this too, little tiny intarsia pieces are harder to do than great big intarsia pieces, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Getting all these little, you gotta get all, see, that's one piece, that's one piece, but they gotta fit into that piece, right? So, but I love doing intarsia. I haven't got one going on right now, but I will soon. Do some more flowers.
You got a good teacher with you anyway.
Yes, I do. He's doing a piece now that's a nativity. I don't know whether you've seen it, but it's
He doesn't do anything small.
No.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But he started this project. So, and he's gluing
I can't remember.
today.
It's been a while since I've been in your house, but I think he started it back then.
Started what?
Started that puzzle.
No, this is another one. This is not puzzle.
You're thinking the
This is
moon
scene.
landing. It took him a long time. to do the
Yeah.
moon landing.
He's done several big ones.
I know.
So, does he sell these big ones or does he, or
Well,
they just keep them?
If you could find somebody that would buy
He
it.
goes to our house and saws a lot.
He asks a lot of money for them because they are so huge.
But he gets a lot of commissions too, a lot of people.
Yes, he does.
I have commissions and stuff from him too, so.
His 30-minute projects?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, 30 minutes.
I think the moon one and then the one with all his animals, both them at the Grapevine Wood Turners deal, he won
Yeah.
first place in both of them.
Every time he goes, you
Yeah, he's excellent.
that's a lot of work.
And he's been teaching me. So I let him use my shop and he teaches me. So we have a good agreement. Okay. Anything else? So the meeting is adjourned?
Oh, I thought we were gonna do the blades.
What?
The blades?
I was just fixing to say we will start the demo. The meeting is over
Okay.
and the demo. All right, so I'm trying to decide whether I should sit up here or should I sit down here so you can hear me or see me better?
I think stay down there, but I'm gonna stay up here and take notes
Okay.
so that I can make up,
Oh,
things.
hang it.
And
I want to give this out too. This is something from Joanne. Pass those around, please. Pass those around.
We need one more.
No, it's coming.
Coming that way.
Oh, they're coming.
We need two. Thank you.
Just one correction, I mean, whoever, My zip is 75033. It's 34 up here.
Oh, wait.
It used to be 34, but they added a new zip.
Oh, okay.
But it's 75033 now, instead of 34.
Could you please get your,
Oh, yeah, 705,
What is it?
oh, we'll just move it down here.
Okay, wait.
I'm just gonna move it down here. Don't get up, I'll do it. Okay, 3-3.
Anybody ever hear from Cheryl, the one that used to
She got embarrassed because she
do the
quit,
epoxy stuff?
basically. She got embarrassed because she quit.
And
She just
I
left.
bawled her out.
She just, yeah, and Faye had to bail her out, then
No.
take over.
I bawled her out.
Yeah.
I told her exactly what I thought of her, and that wasn't a good thing.
Quitting, or just quitting, because she was the president, and she just was like, I can't come. And it was like, okay.
She sent me an email specifically, I'm not gonna do anything. If you wanna do something, do it. I don't think that's the way you resign from being a president, is it?
No, probably not.
So I wasn't really kind when I replied back.
I have an update if anybody cares. My name is Weaver, Russ Weaver, on the second page, and my zip code.
I was just, hold on.
Oh, what is it?
It's 75380. All my mail goes there, so I pick it up once a week.
And the PO box, okay, I just see the PO box number, is it Dallas? Where is it?
That is Dallas.
I don't have a pen with me. Would you write it down there?
We'll write it in.
Okay.
Okay, and then what's the zip?
75380.
All right, thank you.
Okay, let
I
me
didn't
get back
make
to
the list, I
that.
guess.
Second.
Oh, he didn't make the
Oh,
list.
you didn't make the list?
Okay, you want to give us your info?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You do all this, you know all of it.
Pass it, yeah.
My name is Wicklander, W-I-C-K-L-A-N-D-E-R,
No, say that slow and a little louder.
Wicklander, W-I-C-K-L-A-N-D-E-R,
All right.
Rod,
Okay, your number?
972-492-8583.
Address?
Mogul, M-O-G-U-L _59 at hotmail.com.
MOGUL_59?
Yes.
Okay. And your home address or whatever? mailing address?
3618 Winoka Drive, that's W-A-Y-N-O-K-A.
W-A-Y,
Yeah, N-O-K-A,
A Drive.
Carrollton,
You putting that in the notes?
75007.
I think I'm behind. I'll get it from one of y'all.
Okay. I'll get it from the notes too, what I don't have.
Since you make all the questions, would you please let me have them when you finish? While I finish this. Okay, are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First thing we're going to do today, and I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because y'all always know as much about this as I do, but I'm going to just do a basic scroll saw talk, and then we'll look at everybody else's different preferences. So the first thing you need to know if you're looking at a scroll saw blade is what the label is telling you. So can you hand some of these?
You been handling that for me?
Oh,
You got a keyboard?
Thank you.
I got two.
the chart you have,
Everybody have one?
Okay, the chart you have has numbers and suggested material and thickness. And below is the blade size. For instance, number 2/0, that's the first one. And then below that is WTTPI. Well, that doesn't do you any good if you don't know what that means. So this little chart will help you with that. It says the blade size, like 2/0, then the width, W, is the width of the blade. And then T is the thickness of the blade, and then TPI means teeth per inch. If you didn't know, and you see TPI, you have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Well, this chart will help you with that. Okay? So on the label, like this is a Seymour, Ray Seymour's company, Seiko. All right, and on the label it will say, he has it written out, width, thickness, and TPI, but TPI is teeth per inch. So on this one it's 16. This is just for an example. Okay. So when you see W, as your chart says here, think 0.027 is the width, 0.008 is the thickness, and TPI is the teeth per inch. Okay? So that's what it means on the label. I mean, if you're just trying to read a label and figure out. Okay? Then there are several positions of the teeth.
I'll take it. You distribute them.
Okay, let me keep this one, just hand these out. Does that make sense? Should you, any questions about this first?
Says what, say that again?
Any questions?
No, I mean, what is that?
This is second. So, position of the blade.
Didn't take that
Position
long.
of the
So
teeth.
for like 3/4 thick, the wood, you recommend we set up and
That's what this.
Is that two?
People saw nothing but that, and I didn't.
Yeah, that's two. What the book suggests.
Because I got a friend that he uses spiral.
This is a popular I got this out of a Popular Mechanics how-to book. So I figured Popular Mechanics should kind of know it.
I can't stay online when I use one of them.
Okay. So if you look at this little chart that I made for you, the standard scroll saw blade position of the teeth. That's just blah. So then skip tooth, every other tooth is skipped. When I was first learning, I didn't have a clue what they were talking about. And then reverse skip tooth saw blades, you can see how that goes.
What would you use that one for? I don't have any. but
Keeps
I
the
just
bottom
wonder.
clean.
What?
It cuts the bottom clean.
It doesn't fuzz.
It cuts
the
both
bottom.
ways.
Oh, okay,
It doesn't fuzz the bottom.
okay.
Okay. And then the double tooth saw blade, that means,
Yeah, that's-
see how they're positioned?
Mm-hmm.
And then the crown tooth, where they go two at a time.
What
And
about that geometric one that he said he uses?
What, I didn't have that, that's,
that's what he's got here.
what you can do about the crown
Geometric.
tooth saw blade though, that's so good, is it doesn't matter which direction you put it in.
As long as you don't put it in the backwards.
Well, you can't have it go, but unless you want to pull it this way, yeah, it'd be all right. See, huh?
They're upside down.
I've had that happen.
What was the last
Small
statement
blade.
about?
You can put the
Get it
blade
in.
in either way.
Thing,
Both of them.
I know.
There's no-
On the geometric?
I put them upside down.
Oh, crown.
Forget that. Run your finger up.
Does anybody use that crown tooth?
That's a good question.
Well, isn't the reverse the same thing? It doesn't matter which way you put it in? Because you
No.
gotta go in the same direction.
Reverse just has a couple of extra teeth on it, going the opposite
It's
direction.
at the bottom, you just
I don't think I
about
have
6
either.
teeth at the very bottom of your blade, and it has a
I might
skip.
have some
I thought they
double
were
teeth
every-
in there back in
Oh,
there.
no,
Yeah.
Bigger wood or
First,
something.
that's at the very bottom.
So
I gotta use those 2s and 5s.
the thing I want you to say here is
Got
I'm
some
giving you
9s,
this
but
all
I
the,
don't hardly ever use them, unless I'm in thick wood. Morning.
there's several books out there with advice on how to do this. But my advice to you is to get a blade, try it.
You know what?
Get a blade, try it. If you don't like it, don't
Oh,
use it.
try it. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I do. I am a great one for doing samples. She can tell you, I'm always,
You can't just buy one blade though, do you
No.
have to buy a dozen?
well, yeah.
Okay.
How do you remember
It
that?
gives you 12 tries at it.
And different woods and different products. Because you can do acrylic, paper, you know, metal. I do metal. Okay, so just try to use different thicknesses of wood or different types of wood or non-wood items with any of these blades that you see. I can't say you should use oak on this. No, I don't do that. I try. It's whatever works for you is the best thing to do. Okay, is that right?
Okay, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Grover, right? Is that right? Okay. He was saying on the reverse skip tooth blade that all the blades, all the teeth on the top go down and the up teeth are only 2 teeth at the bottom? Is that?
No, it depends on the blade. You use about like 5 or 6 foot teeth at the very bottom.
Okay,
It's making the undercut of your wood.
okay.
Just so it'll chip up instead of being a chip pulling down.
Step down, okay. And
And
then
the advantage to that though, I mean,
It makes
Fuzzies.
feathers on the
fuzzies,
bottom.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't usually use your bottom piece, it's torn out at the bottom.
Right.
So so this hopefully corrects that.
And then also there's another one, the flat end spiral. saw
Well, okay, hold on. The reverse skip tooth saw blade, what woods do you use that on?
That's what I said. Experiment with whatever works for you.
Anything that fuzzes a lot. If you have some wood that's got a lot of fuzzies that you don't want to have to go back in and burn like you do, or sand, then use that, and it'll clean up a lot of those fuzzies.
So,
And my advice, like I said here, is if you decide you like one, let's see what this does, just do some samples. Do a trial.
Well, the trouble is that I don't have any way to remember what I did the last time.
You need to know me.
That's a personal problem.
And
I'm right with you.
There's something called pencil and paper.
Well, then I
you
wonder
lose
where I
your
put it.
pencil and paper. I mean, come on.
Where did I put it?
okay, so on the reverse tooth blade then, if you're using like the plywood, the 1/8 inch plywood for stuff, you would get less fuzzies on the plywood with the reverse skip
Try
blade.
and see. Try and see.
Well,
Supposedly.
Well then,
like basswood will splinter if you cut it.
Yeah.
cut it. So,
okay, well then the crown tooth saw blade, that doesn't have the reverse on the bottom of it. That's just the same teeth all the way down, right? Okay. And why would you,
I'm just showing you what is
It cuts both
available.
ways, don't it? Crown tooth cuts.
Cuts both ways.
are these spiral blades, are there other kinds of spiral blades and this flat?
But, they're just saying there's not a that's not a pin in spiral blade. That's just a
Oh, a
flat
pin, okay.
pin in. So,
They make one in spiral, a pin in.
I have no idea. I've never seen one. I don't like pin in, so I don't even look there.
I know you gotta straighten up the ends before you can get them in your saw.
Well,
I've heard people say that.
yeah, isn't some of them
Like a flat pair of
flat
pliers.
ends?
Yeah.
This is
They advertise flat ends.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I use the spiral blades on some of my trivets because and I leave the fuzzies that creates it because it makes like I do an apple and it makes it kind of look like it's been bitten into, type thing. So they're flat. I don't have any trouble getting them in. I haven't used them.
And it depends on your saw. What saw do you have?
I have a DeWalt, and then Susie just bought a
Scallop.
Excalibur, yeah.
Okay, and those both take the spirals. Like the Hawks, don't take spirals,
Maybe
right?
that's why I
Mine
can't
doesn't,
draw a good line with
And
it.
can't work them.
And my Hegner, it does, but it's hard to get them in.
Yes.
I gotta straighten it, take a flat pair of
but mine-
pliers, smooth, and get it, pull on it, put
But-
the other end in the deal and pull on it, get them lined up.
Well, my Seco, it goes right in. The spirals do.
My
Have no
Seco-
trouble, I don't have to clean or straighten anything up, it just goes in.
Mine think I'll take anybody I ever stuck in there.
I don't use enough of them to really care anyway.
Well,
All they sit there and gather dust.
this is just information. You don't have,
Yeah.
you know. Okay. Now, the last chart I'm going to give you. Want to hand this one
Yep,
out?
you got to.
You're the good student.
And don't,
I can do that.
don't shoot me, but, and I'm
You
doing
can lick
this.
your fingers if you have to.
I'm just
Mine has
kind
a little cover.
Blow on.
I think you got to.
I do.
If you want to, I guess you can.
No, I'm just taking it apart for you.
Oh, no, you got one.
I've got one. Oh, that's yours. Okay, I got it.
We are having trouble today.
I gotta get my glasses on.
Okay.
You're in the car.
Be patient. Be patient.
What do you mean?
Thank you.
Wait
But
till I
can't-
tell you.
I need-
Wait until I tell you.
I'm one short.
Oh, I think you gave him two.
Did I get?
Yeah, Russ is only, this is both piles is Russ. So,
Oh, he, okay.
I gave him,
I got one. And I
that's
just,
for you.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring this stuff.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, I can read it now.
All right, this is the original. Wow. And Harlan gave this to me, said he couldn't be here today, that he had made this up and would I please hand it out to everybody. So this is what he does. He apparently uses Olson's. And this is the
has
best,
all those blades.
and this is the best that Office Depot could do for me with
What do you?
original.
Yeah.
So if you look, you see Olson number 2-0, and he has W and the O22, T010, and then TPI 28. That's the top line. So I know it's not very clear, but he wanted y'all to have this, so I did it. Okay?
I guess I don't pay attention to that. I just feel it and say, okay,
I
this is
know
a
it.
thin blade and
Well-
I'll use it on the thin wood.
I know it.
have to do a presentation.
Well, I know, but I mean,
Thin wood, more
I just,
All right,
It's too much trouble.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I
but you know, when Steve, was that, that's his name? The guy that gave us the presentation on blades, he did it all numerically,
Yeah,
and Paul Benson loved it. He said it just,
see if she got it.
I understood it. And I thought, I didn't.
Well, my advice is to take a blade and try it.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
We have a question.
Oh, okay.
Cutting your wood, how many teeth are you supposed to have in that wood all the time?
I think this first chart is supposed to be showing you that. I'm not sure.
Well, when I read anything, it said that you want, when the blade comes up, you're pulling out the sawdust. If you got a thicker board, you want less teeth, so they come out. 'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, your sawdust is
I know
trapped
the
inside.
thinner the wood, the more the teeth, the thicker the wood, the less the teeth.
I think that's.
But how many should you have in the
You
wood?
do it,
Trial and error.
I don't know.
Do you remember me saying, take one, try it yourself, see how you like it? Do you remember
I
that?
was asked the question, I said, well, I was gonna ask you and see if you knew.
I don't know what you want to do.
Well, one, if it goes on.
I'm like you, I really don't care, I use the same, I I use 3s and 5s Pegasus, and that's all I use.
Okay, now then, I'm going to ask y'all which blades and then what brands y'all like. First, I'll tell you what I like, and then y'all can. I like Seiko blades. I think they are so good. And he's got the PL line, that's the line I like to use. But he also has a TLB, Tough Little Blade.
What is it?
TLB, Tough Little Blade. And I also use those for certain, if it's going to be a tough little wood, I'm going to use this tough little blade for it.
Makes sense.
I never heard of this one though.
But these are Seikos.
Yeah, Seiko's all I use.
Then,
Yeah, but Seiko has a whole lot of blades.
yes, he does.
So
I thought
The
Seiko
PL.
was
the PL,
And
that's what,
Well, Olson, no, Olson's the brand.
Well, I know that, but I think so,
what,
they
what's
sell it, I think.
Yeah,
Ray's wife's name called?
yeah, I think Woodcraft sells.
Oh, yeah.
I always want to say
Debbie,
Con.
Debbie.
No.
Woodcraft.
Okay.
Anyway, she told us at the first meeting,
Because if I just want
they'd just gotten
number
those in
nines, which I
and
don't
trying.
use
Don't
many
you
of them.
remember?
I just
She's the one that started it.
either.
PLs, that Seiko, and then the tough little blades. Then I also like Pegasus. And, here. This Pegasus double skip reverse cuts hardwood beautifully. This is my favorite. Double skip reverse. And you can get them at Woodcraft. Of course, and they have this is the O2. This is just the ones I brought that I liked. Then that's pretty much the blades that I use, almost exclusively.
Okay,
You only use 3 sizes?
No, I didn't say anything about
I
size.
just said, but you're talking about
Brand.
brands.
I'm talking about brand.
okay, the
I
TLB,
didn't bring all the, I've got a thing like this of blades. So you didn't want me to bring all that.
the tough little blade,
Tough little blade.
and that's a thick blade.
Yeah, these are
Thicker than the,
Good.
I don't know what size I have on that, but I know it's it's big.
That's a
What do
Seiko
y'all
blade.
use that
Tough
for?
little blade.
Those are the best blades for me, as far as I'm
these are
concerned.
Seiko blades. These are Pegasus. There's a brand, you can get those wherever they sell
You can
Pegasus
stay sharper
blades.
than anything else.
But I like those.
'Cause I
Okay,
had some of them Pegasus
TLB.
blades, and they didn't seem to last near as long as.
Okay, so what do you use that for?
Things that I think so.
Okay, like big,
Yeah.
thick hardwood?
Maybe so, and acrylic and things like that.
Oh, you
And-
cut
and,
acrylics with it?
Yeah. And then the PL blade is really my favorite.
Bill?
PL Seiko. All right, next. What is your favorite blade? Brand.
Well-
Brand.
I bought a lot of blades when I first started. They're in a box, and I just pick one that works.
You don't have a favorite
I
brand?
think most of them are Seiko, what I have. But I showed her.
We need to sit down with that now that we've had this. But part of it is, you just have to pick out a size as much as anything you
Well,
like.
when I first started, I thought I wanted a very thin cut, so I was using these double alt blades for things.
Whoa,
And I hear that y'all would never use them, so
I do.
I'm backing them.
well, they do, but depending on what,
Yeah, it depends on what you
Because they
cut.
Well, I haven't dedicated, I do other things besides just scroll saw, so I haven't really figured it out real well.
well, you do carving mostly, so.
Next,
Pegasus,
Pegasus is your favorite blade.
stone blade.
What's your
Okay,
favorite?
but Pegasus
Pegasus.
makes several blades. What blade in Pegasus do you use?
I use the 3s and 5s that
But
the
what
geomet-
type of blade?
Look, let me say,
modified geometry.
Oh, okay.
let me say this.
They
These
stay
are both-
sharper than anything that I've ever used.
These are both Pegasus. This is a double skip reverse, and this is a skip. That's two different types of blades from Pegasus. And then they have size. You can go 02 up to.
And then, okay,
So those are your
3s and
three.
5s, the geometric, well, what's modified?
Yeah, modified, yeah.
Modified geometric.
Okay.
Okay, and on those, the end is kind of crooked. Do you cut that crooked off?
I'm cutting up, no,
No, me either.
not crooked.
Me either.
Well, all of mine that are geometric have kind of a,
A little point on it that helps you get it through the hole.
What
No,
blade?
that lets you know which one's the top, which one's the bottom, you know, which way to point it.
really?
Yeah.
What?
So we-
Here's a revelation.
What is it?
What brand do you like?
The modified geometry.
But
What does it tell you?
Pegasus.
Tells you
Pegasus.
which is the top and which one's the bottom.
So what tells you is the top?
It's got, the top comes up and it kind of has a little whoop-de-doo in it.
Has
Oh,
a nick in
okay.
the top.
Well, that one was probably,
Oh,
I didn't see, you can't see anything
Yeah,
because
it's,
I was gonna take it out, but I.
well, I just looked at, I cut that point off.
no, that's the top, like you said, but
Does everybody really
Got one
say
blade
that
in there,
Pegasus is
not
the
coming out.
best blade?
Yeah, I
You
use
like
Pegasus.
Pegasus?
Yeah.
I use a Seiko.
Seiko?
I used to use Awesome.
I use whatever's in our box at the moment because we're still learning.
What do
I've
you
been
use?
using Seiko lately.
Mostly Seiko? Okay,
Yeah.
and flag
is
dash.
that pointing gun?
Yeah, but there's all kind of Seiko. I mean,
That means
Yeah, but PL is the better
PL.
of the Seikos. Do you use PLs?
So this is what you're talking about?
PL.
The platinum
Platinum.
one
That's
in.
the top?
Black.
put your finger up to a blade, feel how sharp it is that way.
but a number 5 on this blade is totally
Well, that's-
different
there's one on
size
the
than the
bottom,
number
too.
5 on
Is
this
there?
blade.
The
On
bottom is-
brands, depending on what you're buying.
Sure.
What brand you buy?
Seiko.
The
But
bottom
Seiko
one
has
is pointing
a
west.
whole chart.
They're looking
Of
different.
blades.
I don't know, maybe I didn't notice.
Okay.
The one at top's longer, I think, I don't know.
Well,
I want to say it's
usually
Pegasus
do it
because
with
I
my
bought a
finger.
bunch
Well,
of them.
I'd look and see
I really
where
like
this
them,
is.
but I can't find them. So that's like,
It's-
but that's a lot of
Where's
time I
it
use
two-
them.
It's
Okay.
reversed up, yeah, so I'd look and see.
PLC.
I can feel,
Call on the phone, he just sent me some this week.
And look at the bottom.
it just helps.
It's easy that
Well,
way.
you got a bottom too, then go in front of me.
Well, I run my
So,
finger down.
can we say that Pegasus and Seiko is the favorite blades?
Yes.
Because somebody said that, I guess Flying Dutchman started making things with a less than metal, is what we were told a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And so
What?
it wasn't as
Flying
good as
Dutchman.
it was anymore.
Well, fly, okay.
Where do you get them? Do you go to Seiko to get them or find it?
You
find
just
them?
Call them and they'll send them.
Yeah.
Mike, I need
He'll
to,
make it to you, huh?
Send you.
just call him.
Yeah.
If you're doing Pegasus, you can get them from where you get your Bear Woods.
Yeah.
Bear Woods and
There was,
Amazon.
and there's another company too that's like directly to them.
There's a couple more.
So
They're
nobody,
direct line to them.
so,
He said there's someplace in California.
There's a place in California, Ray told me about them, you can get them by the gross, it's about $4 or $5 cheaper than Bear Woods.
What's the name of that one?
I do not know.
Can you let Joanne know and she can let us know?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, there's a couple of them. You just look up Pegasus on the internet, it'll give you 2 or 3 suppliers.
okay,
Now,
but
when
so
you call
Harmon,
him, do you order a certain set of blades?
I always have a list of what I need from him.
And you don't get blades from whatever, 00 to 12, do you?
No, she'll say like 5s, I need 5s, I need 7s, I need this.
O2s.
A
Yeah.
dozen of each one you need.
No, an 02 is 2 aught?
Yeah,
That's the same.
that's a teeny tiny one.
Okay.
Okay, so Harmon uses old.
Siri here.
Just to tell you, Harmon uses old.
You're gonna
I
pass that.
still have some
Your real
Olsen.
picture. Take a picture. Yeah, but let me take a
I
real
thought
picture
that
of
was
it.
a different.
Okay,
So that's
That's the
this.
original, okay.
Yes, that's the original he
Yes,
left.
I bought all of them. They don't
He
feel when I first started.
couldn't
Still
be
have
here.
those.
Well, that's what all the stuff I give you.
if I'm doing
Yeah.
puzzles on
I
thick,
even
because
have
I do it on thick
few
wood,
RBI hot.
I usually start out with the PL blade, 5. And if that starts swerving, because the PL blade does swerve. If that doesn't work, then I go to Polar number 5. And it goes straight up and down.
Have you used any Pegasus?
You get that from Seiko or someplace else?
I get it from,
Is Polar the brand?
No, Polar is the type of blade in,
You can get that
Hawk.
from Pegasus.
let me see. Let's see what
So this is all the information I have for you.
Well, I have a question about using the blades.
Okay.
Now, Susie's not here today because she wasn't feeling well, but she's been trying to cut straight lines on, she's doing some geometric thing that's all straight lines. And she can't get the blade to go straight. She's using a Seiko 5 and it always drifts.
Yes.
So
Then
how do you
she's
deal with
pushing
that
it-
drift?
She's pushing it that way.
Is it
Yeah,
pushing?
you gotta, especially when you're doing turning, you gotta be careful that you don't push it. You gotta turn the wood.
Okay.
But
If
you
you
have
don't, then you get the,
When you're doing a straight line, you need to press hard this way.
Okay.
As well as this way and slow,
slow, yeah.
Okay.
slow. Just
So
play like it's a sewing machine and that's a stitch. And how
You gotta
slow-
follow.
you're talking to the wrong person with Susie. She wouldn't know what a sewing machine looked like, so let her know how to use it.
But when I have to get a straight line, I have to get, and you can, it'll curve sometime if you press too hard.
Okay.
Do it slow. And when you, let the blade tell you when you're going too fast.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the wood and the saw will talk to you.
Yeah.
You listen to it.
Yeah. Well, see, I mean, she thought if something was wrong with the blade or something, and I was like, well, let me try it. And I had no trouble. I mean, my straight lines were straight.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what's she doing wrong?
Press down
Okay.
as well as.
And see, I don't know what my technique is. I really don't. I don't know what I'm doing, but
Is she-
I get a straight line.
Is it vibrating on her?
Is it
vibrating?
I don't think so.
Because if it's,
Because I watched her cut some yesterday, and it kind of me, and of course my eyeballs aren't as good as they used to be. It kind of seemed to me that she wasn't, she was not going straight. She was kind of going off.
is she
the
looking
side.
through a magnifying glass?
like that.
Is she looking through a magnifying glass?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the magnifying glass, it looks like you need to turn it, but
And
you
you
don't
really
have
don't.
to.
Okay.
It's kind of deceiving. I don't know if it's not really centered or something over
Okay.
it, but when I'm looking to it, I'm really go slow to make sure I stay on the line.
Horses that are lining, like, sometimes when you look at the blade and the scroll saw, you try to keep the line in it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes I'll be like on a small angle and I'm cutting straight, even though, my woodwork and the scroll saw, it doesn't really line up to be 90 degrees. So it's a little tricky.
I see what you're saying.
Tell her to start
Okay.
highlighting the line.
One
'cause
other
that's what I have to
thing.
do. I'm dyslexic, so I take a highlighter.
Okay.
One other thing. Where's the pole?
Huh?
Oh, the Polar is a Flying Dutchman, and I go through Mike's workshop. That's the easiest to find it.
And do you have different sizes of it or just?
5 is generally what I use, but I'll use a 3 on like small jewelry, or if it's hardwood or whatever.
Oh, she does have-
If I have trouble with with the PL Platinum blades, then I go to the Polar. And you have to clean that up on the back more than the Platinum and Geometric are real clean on the back. But this Polar, it's all I can cut on the Corian, but if I have a hardwood like oak, whatever, if I'm doing a puzzle and I want it straight up and down, I go to the Polar 5.
Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, Flying Dutchman, because for some reason, Stan and I were doing puzzles out of cherry wood for Larry Bowen when he got sick. We were doing it for his sisters. And Stan called and said the only thing we used to keep it from swaying on a puzzle was the Polar. That's how we found it. I would have never found it myself.
Isn't cherry hard?
Yeah.
What'd
We
you
were
say?
doing puzzles, nativity puzzles out of it.
You get it from Mike what?
Mike's workshop.
Mike's workshop. Anything else now?
I think Bear Woods owns that now, but it's still Bear Wood. I order it through Bear Woods.
So anything else? Any questions? Does that help anybody?
When I put a blade in to do fretwork sometimes, especially after I go put it in and out several times, the blade goes down and just bends straight out. Now, I don't know why that happens.
You're tightening your nut too tight.
Well, if I don't, it comes out.
Do you sand the ends?
I sand the ends.
And use a wall, with mineral spirits, to get the oil off the
I
end of the
don't,
blade.
I do sandpaper, I thought that's all you need.
Okay, I dip mine in mineral spirits and then sand the ends.
No, I did make one of those
They don't
little
seem to
screws,
come
little things around to do my tightening of the blade. So I do tighten the blade tightly.
I do, I have a gadget.
It's a gadget.
Does anybody round off the back sides of your blade with sandpaper? Do you round those off just a little bit?
No,
I don't. I
I've
don't
heard
feel
about
that.
I
I don't
just
feel that it's,
grab the ends and wipe them with the wheel and do it in the other and then try to put it in.
But now, on Hagner saws, we were told, or Bobby Riggs was told, when he called the company, that if it gets to where the blades are jumping out, even after you do everything you normally do, go and disassemble your stuff up here, go wash it in just open water, let it dry, go back, and it'll start holding the blades up. Now, other saws, I don't know.
you get
Well, this
oil
is
in the
the-
threads of the screws. One
Oh,
of the
the
things.
blade that her friend bought. Saw, that's the same one I used.
I don't know,
What'd she get?
Eddie and I have Hagner.
Excalibur.
Excalibur, that's one.
Yeah,
And I'll forget to do that.
but you probably have the old Excalibur. She's got the brand new redone Excalibur.
I'm sure that's true.
You might have changed with a little piece of the Excalibur, you have to change those so often. And you get them from Ray, you just pop them out, they're held in the O-rings.
I don't know who you are.
Okay,
Finish off on that.
always the last one on the list. Okay, yeah, I've got it there.
Oh, you're talking about the one that's center of the blade.
Yeah.
I have a hard time putting blades in. I can usually get the top and the bottom end. I have
The
trouble.
bottom, that's one of those.
Because the trouble, I can't see. And especially when it's bent, I have to do
Oh, my gosh. You've done some butterflies.
Okay. Like that. I use it really
Maybe I can get somebody to show me something.
geometric.
The sad part about it is, this thing over here, you can almost sell for $35, $45, $60. You can't get five.
Oh, no, I
And
know people don't,
you spent 4 hours on it, 5 hours, and 10 folding.
yeah, people don't realize it's worth it.
Well, my biggest fear when I went out on it was I might get 20, 30 people or Etsy, they want, I need 40. I can't make 40 of those. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can.
Y'all are doing
Cool, I'm gonna
great.
take a picture of this thing. Susie, where it's at.
I mean, brand names doesn't help.